On the first day, the convicted murderer was released from prison. She used a hammer to smash the electronic ankle monitor. Then she made a call to the police, lying that she had damaged it while riding her bike. Daisy told the police to come replace the ankle monitor, but her hands were busy preparing her murder tools. When Daisy found out it would take the police half an hour to arrive, she deliberately left her phone at home and rode her bike quickly because she needed to kill someone before the police showed up and return home in time. Soon Daisy arrived at the victim's doorstep. Mike, still happily playing a game, didn't realize danger was about to strike. Suddenly the doorbell rang. Mike walked over confused to check. At that moment Daisy disguised herself as a gas inspector. Once inside, Daisy pulled out the items she had prepared in advance. She put on gloves and shoe covers to avoid leaving any traces. Afterward, Mike led her to the kitchen and left, but Daisy was extremely nervous, and in her panic she dropped the knife hidden in her clothes. She held her breath in fear. Luckily the loud sound of rain covered the noise, so Mike didn't hear it. Once Daisy calmed herself, she quietly moved behind Mike, who was still playing his game. Daisy fought to control her fear, tightening her grip on the knife in her hand. She focused her gaze on Mike's neck. Just as she was about to strike, Mike suddenly turned to check. Daisy quickly hid the knife, startled. Mike asked if she had finished her inspection, but Daisy, too frightened, couldn't respond. At that moment Mike noticed something was off. He immediately stood up and began scrutinizing Daisy. It then dawned on him that he had met Daisy before. Daisy, nervously clutching the knife in her hand, realized Mike had recognized her. Without hesitation she lunged at him with the knife. As she was knocked down by Mike, Daisy managed to pull out a stun gun and shocked him. Seeing that Mike could no longer resist, Daisy quickly stepped forward and grabbed his neck. Soon Mike stopped struggling and lost consciousness. Next, Daisy picked up the knife from the floor and stabbed it deep into Mike's heart. The next day Mike's grandfather came to visit him at the villa. When he walked into the living room, the grandfather immediately noticed blood on the floor. Following the trail he came to the secret room, where the blood led to the freezer. At that moment the grandfather had a bad feeling. He fought back his fear and opened the freezer. What he saw inside was Mike's lifeless body. The grandfather stared at the scene in disbelief. By the time Daisy arrived at the crime scene, the police had already sealed it off. She watched as Mike's body was carried out by the officers, and a wave of fear and anxiety washed over her. But strangely, she hadn't killed Mike the night before, so how did he die? Just then Daisy's panicked retreat caught the grandfather's attention. He suddenly realized something.